Oh, I was just looking at my own website and reviewing some of my own footage casually with my sunglasses on when you caught me off guard. It's Sam from Viral Media Network. It's day 14 of the knowledge cards put on by the Library of Congress. So that's probably why you got me on camera. So here we go. And as I had stated in previous videos, I had started this for, there's a card hiding in here. Started this for Black History Month. I did 4 of them, and then I went on the road for a week. Second week, 7th through the 14th, and then, subsequently got really busy. Of course, couldn't continue it on the road. So here it is, March, continuing on March 14th. And because there's 31 days in March, I believe, not 30, right? Or is there 30 days in March? 30 days in March. I would continue it on and do the full 30 days instead of just 28 days because there are 48 cards in this deck. So who knows? We might do a bonus 14 in a 2-week stint or stretch it out as a 1-week thing. So I already have picked these ones and I flipped them over to the other side. Here are the 13 that we've done already. You can check out the other videos here in the iCard, or maybe it's on this side, whichever side the iCard is on. I always forget because when I shoot these on my cell phone, and you can notice I'm not hooked up to the fancy microphone and all the computer, I decided to flip it back the other way. You always get a different angle with me, okay? Whether it be here in the studio, whether it be at home, in different locations at home, whether it be the home office or the home quiet area when the daughter's asleep. I have to be across the upstairs because the home office is directly above her bedroom. So anyways, it's day 14 of the knowledge cards. We've learned some great things. There have been cards that pulled that I have learned already. I learned them in school, or they're the big things that they teach you about. But, again, here I am 20, 30 years later. It's good to revisit that. And also in the context of what's going on today, and then through the lens of being an adult and having experienced racism or people, being racist. And then, some of the deep-seated, we all learn that there's a subconscious thing within ourselves that we're intertwined with race and how we view race. And I've expressed that in other videos, but in a nutshell, growing up in Palo Alto and having East Palo Alto right across the way, it was always, people of color, black people, Latino people are poor. And that's just how it is. And more of those people are poor, and just kind of accepting that as is. And then as you get older, you realize why that is. And then, your consciousness, and then, all that kind of stuff. So this is in an effort to raise that consciousness and to be aware and remind ourselves what we've been through to get to where we are today, and how much more we have left to do. And as I said, when you look back on the past in today's context, how much is kind of the same. Some things in different realms, but certainly if you look at real estate, there might not be specific redlining laws, but as far as who they give loans to, or how much loans, or how much a house is assessed, it's still a racial divide. So we need to look at that stuff and, reviewing this stuff. And again, this is mainly on the 50s and 60s. But reviewing, things that happened in the past can also teach us about what's going on today, and maybe things that we can do, apply the methods that it did then, or maybe it's a totally different time and it wouldn't work. Who knows? So leave your comments below. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much. You can dislike the video too. There's a dislike button. So if you dislike it, hey, you know what? We're not all the same. We all have different opinions. And I want to know why you dislike it. And maybe I can change them for the better, or maybe we can just agree to disagree. And you can stay hating. But anyways, let's get on to day 14 of the knowledge cards. I always shuffled it 3 times. So here we go. I think we actually have room that you can actually see my shuffling abilities here. How about that, huh? 1. I always shuffle it 3 times, and you might notice I shuffle it more in some videos, but that's just because I'm talking too much and I don't get a good shuffle. I gotta show you my bridge too, right? It's a pretty good bridge. All right, second successful time, and then I always draw from the middle. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so here we go. I don't shuffle it around or anything, but all right. Ruby Hurley. there's Ruby Hurley. Okay. And as always, I'm like the Mr. Rogers with glasses instead of sweaters. Okay. I switched glasses. And of course, my hair got a little messed up. Oh, I can see the screen a lot better. So funny. Because I really only use them for reading. Because like long distance, they're what you call farsighted, right? But even things from like, this phone is maybe like, 2 feet away. And I'm just like, oh, and my glasses are crooked. So, excuse me. Does that look better? Okay. Got to be camera ready. Maybe I'm not camera ready with the hair, but hey, you know what? Oh, I got something in my hair. Yeah. Okay. Ruby Hurley. Ruby opened the first permanent NAACP office in the Deep South in Birmingham, Alabama in 1951. The first professional civil rights worker in the South encountered rigid segregation. Negroes and whites could not play checkers together, she recalled. Hurley began her NAACP career in 1939 when she organized a youth council in Washington, D.C., becoming National Youth Secretary in 1943. In Birmingham, she daily played her life at risk by investigating the lynching of several African Americans and by supporting Arthurtine Lucy in her bid to enter the all-white University of Alabama. As a result, I could be riding down the street and white men would drive by and say, "We gonna get you." And Hurley said, bombs were thrown at my home. In 1956, when the state of Alabama closed down the NAACP office, Hurley went to Atlanta, where she continued the struggle for civil rights. So, this is a case, again, where, again, if you're really in depth with, every unique individual within the civil rights movement, you'd probably know Ruby Hurley. But, for the average American, again, you might know the highlights, the main stars, and not know, some of the more ground workers. But for her to open the first office in the Deep South, that's really saying something. And for her to continue her work, I mean, obviously moving to Atlanta, but to experience all of that hate and all of that threatening violence and intimidation and still continue with your work is completely commendable. It's pretty amazing that something like that is someone like that can continue on. And so Ruby is a great pioneer, and it's someone to remember in the struggle that we have for equality. So Ruby Hurley, thank you so much for your contributions and for opening the first NAACP office in the Deep South in Birmingham, Alabama. All right, we'll see you tomorrow for day 15 of the Knowledge Cards. Thanks again so much for watching. I'm Sam from Viral Media Network. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment again, and let us know what you think. And other than that, I hope you have a beautiful day, and love your neighbors, love your strangers, and engage in people and share love. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.